Picks.
Salam alaikum. Allahu
Hello.
Akbar. How are you, Mr. New York Rick? And there he is, sporting
I'm doing well.
the brand new UFC 223
That's right, baby.
Reebok t-shirt.
Love this so much.
The pigeon.
The pigeon.
I love it.
Anything New York, you got me. And nothing more representative than the pigeons.
My friend,
we'll give some of this away later.
it has been a day of all days.
It has.
It has been a day to remember. We have gone almost 5 hours, 4 minutes shy of 5 hours.
Not without drama.
Yes.
In addition to just the incredible content between there, all kinds of movements and things going on, chronicling Habib's journey to the studio.
I'm just
getting
happy
Tony
it happened.
Ferguson.
I'm happy it's here. I'm happy it's done. Someone said to me before the show, Paige said, "Are you excited about today?" I said, "I'll be excited when it's over." Everyone showed up. Everyone showed up. But now, for the first time in a very long time, I turn the microphone to you. I will not say anything.
You're not going to say anything for the rest of the show? Great.
For Rick's Picks, it's all yours.
Okay.
I'm going to sit back and enjoy this segment. What do you have? Please make it good, because I need to be entertained right now.
We're going to get through it quickly.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of questions today.
Oh, wow. Great.
Here we go. First up on Rick's Picks, Ariel actually alluded to this earlier. We can bring the audio up. Is Rob DeMello in Hawaii talking to Max at the airport as he makes the journey to the mainland for UFC 223.
Go out there and make history. April Fools. Nah, I'm just joking. It's the news is crazy. My manager called me. He told me Tony's hurt and they want you and Habib. So I was like, how do you turn down an opportunity like this? Opportunities like this don't, come once in a lifetime. Really only one guy was able to do it. So glad to be the second guy and go out there and make history. April Fools.
I could listen to the April Fools.
Yeah, teasing the April Fools. Rob also spoke to BJ Penn.
Oh, wow.
They think I'm young enough and they think I still got a chance. A big part, I guess, my family, getting hurt and the different things. Just as you get older, and, the wear and tear of it. But, I'm not looking out. I wouldn't go around talking to the UFC and asking them to get me a fight somewhere. But, if something happened, the UFC came to Hawaii and I'm still young enough to do it, I don't see how I can turn that particular fight down.
So BJ not, actively pursuing a fight, but if they come to Hawaii, he wants on that card, and it'd be hard for me to disagree with that. Continuing the Max Holloway coverage, we have Max here sitting in a Kings meeting. I believe, now forgive me if I'm wrong, King Kamehameha, but I could be off on that.
I love this.
But Max is a boss and meeting a fellow king right before he's coming out. Interestingly enough, this clip from MMA Fighting, Max kind of, predicted this almost.
If one of these guys can't make the fight.
You got a 45 champion. I would gladly take that spot after March 3rd.
Jumping in there to put his name in the hat, and maybe that's stuck. Maybe that was something that stuck in people's minds because that 145-pound champion got the fight, and now he's facing Habib Nurmagomedov at UFC 223. Great cartoon here from Mojahed, who always makes these animated cartoons about the goings on in MMA. This one chronicling Tony kicking the steel pipe.
I want to catch somebody.
The notorious Conor McGregor!
That's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Hold on, boys. 55 not that far away, and if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
Dana, what time is it? What time is it, Dana? Please tell these guys.
It's tiramisu time, bitches.
It is what it is.
I love, he uses the real audio, and he really does a good job on all these.
I agree.
Okay, Flow Wrestling posted a video earlier this week, or last week actually, but falling under the scope of a week's time for Rick's Picks. Wrestler James Green telling a story.
I asked Habib about it.
Yeah, about the wrestling team going to Russia, and Habib treating them with hospitality. And one wrestler, Bobby Telford, leaving with a wolf. But if you haven't seen the full clip, head over to Flow Wrestling's channel and check that one out for the tales of Habib Nurmagomedov and the USA Wrestling. Brett Okamoto tweeting this from MMA Oddsbreaker that Habib Nurmagomedov opened as a minus 505 betting favorite over Max Holloway, who comes back at plus 365 for the lightweight title fight. We can maybe talk about that during the question segment, but interesting how big a favorite Habib Nurmagomedov opened as. Hear from Max's supposed to be Max's upcoming opponent, Brian Ortega, T-City, getting into it with the striking with a huge spin kick, kicking the bottle off the head. Impressive.
Damn.
Moves from young Brian Ortega. Okay, this one a little more. The kicks in this one hurt a little bit more, I think. Kevin Lee showing off his diamond cup.
Oh no.
You haven't seen this?
Oh.
Just taking shots straight to the groin. That's kind of been a theme of the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about the groin. Well, protected here in this video. Just not even phased. Just completely no selling it. Got a good cup. Congratulations. Mike the Truth Jackson still waiting on one CM Punk to sign the contract. Instagram then tweeted this earlier today. Wakes up from nap to check phone. Nope, CM Punk still hasn't signed the contract. Rolls over. So as of yet, still not Mike Jackson. Ray Borg. Congratulations to Ray Borg on the birth of his child. Saying by far the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, I think all the parents feel the same way. Congratulations to him. Big fight coming up for him. And also from MMA Fighting, I showed a clip earlier from MMA Fighting. This one posted last week as well. Dojo, Dominic Cruz's dog, featured for hashtag Mixed Martial Arts by Esther and Casey.
I just
love his
laugh
hair.
at him all day, I swear. That's all I do. Like, I like to give him crazy haircuts and just laugh at him and see. He has no clue how silly he looks. He just thinks he's a dog. That's my favorite part. You have no idea how silly you look, bro. No clue.
Check out the full clip at youtube.com. Oh, look at that. With the plug comes up right as I'm talking about it. youtube.com/MMA Fighting or MMAFighting.com. Check it out. Mixed Martial Arts is great. This one with Dominic and Dojo is awesome. A few KOs that happened in promotions outside the UFC and Bellator. Huge knockout by Abdul Rahman at Road to WWFC 11. Let's watch that one more time. Nasty knockout, stiff as a board.
WWFC. Oof.
Devastating, as said by Kaposa, the Clip King. This one by Ismail Sagav at FNG 85. We'll watch that one back again because if you know, they do the high aerial shot before most matches in MMA or kickboxing or whatever combat sports. They couldn't even get the zoom in because this knockout came so fast.
Wow.
So when this rolls back, you'll see that the camera is on the jib. They're on the jib shot, and it's still zooming in when the knockout actually happens, or when the beginning of the knockout actually happens. So this is rolling back here. Look.
Look at you getting all technical with the jib shot. Fine.
And then we get back to the action. Alexei Konchenko in a title fight for M1 Challenge 90, landing some nasty knees. Getting the job done here. Ooh. Undefeated, 18-0, still welterweight champion for the promotion. And that's it for Rick's picks.
Damn, look at you.
Look,
There's a lot to
keep it
digest
tight
there.
Keep it tight.
Keep it high and tight.
And now we have questions. And as I tweeted out earlier today, the best ones you're gonna get something. You're gonna get some official UFC 223 swag, courtesy of our friends at Reebok.
Oh, yes. And I must say, I am one to sometimes criticize our friends at Reebok. That's a nice shirt.
People liked, this. I feel like this one wasn't going over so well, even though I love this one. People like the long sleeve.
Really?
People like the Reebok long sleeve, yeah.
That one, in my
love
opinion,
this one.
is way nicer.
I agree with you. But we start how we start every week on questions with your question of the week. Earlier today, you asked, now that reality has sunk in, which fight excites you more? The options being Nurmagomedov-Ferguson and Nurmagomedov-Holloway. Huge voting. We had nearly 34,000 votes. 72% Nurmagomedov-Ferguson. Does this surprise you?
Well, I said while I was killing some time awaiting the arrival of the Eagle.
The Eagle landed.
Yes. I said that it did surprise me because I think that people, when they put aside, this is a professional sporting event for a title and we want to see the best. I mean, there's a lot that you need to kind of put aside, right? You in a perfect circumstance would love to see this fight, but you would love to see it 3-month training camp, blah, blah, blah. I feel like people get excited about these sorts of things, throwing around terms like legends being made, cojones, the meme of the guy with the wheelbarrow with his, testicles on him. I mean, people love this sort of thing, stepping up. And it's not just stepping up, it's stepping up, fighting the undefeated Habib Nurmagomedov, 25-0, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought that it would be a little closer to maybe 60-40, but I guess people really do want to see this fight.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised, but I have to admit that is the fight I still would prefer of the two. But I'm excited about the potential opportunity for Max Holloway here. Okay. Alex asks, how is it that Tony versus Habib wasn't for the real belt until the first punch, but Habib versus Holloway is for the universal lightweight belt, I guess, the undisputed. How does stripping Tony make any sense? Whitaker wasn't stripped when he was injured.
I agree. I don't think it makes any sense. I also talked about this. I don't think it makes any sense. Look, I don't like interim titles, but there's a precedent. This is the problem with having a sport that's essentially just a singular ownership doing whatever they want. There is no precedent. It doesn't make any sense. There's no commissioner. There's no rules. There's nothing that says if this guy doesn't fight in a year, there's nothing. And, do
we need that? Or is it better this way?
No, I think it would be better. I think it would be better if there was one national commission. I think it would be better if the UFC had look, here's the thing. The UFC has, for all intents and purposes, handed over their drug testing to USADA, right?
Yes.
Now, they do pay USADA, so it's not 100%, independent. But as we saw with UFC 200, USADA will pull the plug on big fights, even if it hurts the UFC, correct?
Correct.
Why can't the UFC turn to some independent body to make decisions about these sorts of things? It can't be based off of whether or not Dana White likes a guy or not. It can't be based off of whether or not a guy is a draw or not. You just decided not to strip Robert Whitaker 4 months ago. Why is Tony Ferguson getting stripped? You just booked the fight between GSP and Bisping 4 months ago. And there was an interim champion, yet the undisputed title was defended. And yet this guy is getting stripped because he tripped, by the way, while doing media for your event. Now that one's like a little bit tough to pile on there, but personally, like if we talk about the interim titles, there's too much of them. It's muddying the waters. It's a problem, blah, blah, blah. But if you just did it, how are you going to explain to this guy that why? Because you did it on a week's notice? He didn't want to do that. That wasn't his plan,
I think it's a tricky thing to navigate because ultimately I think it's better for everybody except for Tony Ferguson. Like, I don't think that having an interim title still floating around is a good thing. I don't feel that, it was even in the first place anything more than a number one contendership. So it does eliminate those issues. But at the same time, it's hard to justify that for Tony Ferguson, who's an important player, obviously, in this situation. I think it's better overall, but everything you said is 100% right. Like, if you're Tony Ferguson and you've watched this happen already, without the champion being stripped, it's hard to justify.
And you weren't
there's a
told
lot on the line.
beforehand?
Yeah.
You weren't even told beforehand?
And it seems like they haven't even connected on it since.
Not even connected.
You know, as per Tony, he says they haven't talked about it. So that is a difficult situation to navigate.
I truly feel for Tony Ferguson.
Absolutely.
It took a lot for him to come on this show 24 hours after this fight, was called off, and of course the new fight. We've had him on the show before. I think he's turned into one of the more fascinating people in MMA. He is just a unique guy with a unique interviewing style. That wasn't the Tony of old. That was a Tony who was still coming to terms with what happened. And again, let's not forget, my friends, this is our Saturday night. This is how we sit back with friends and watch fights. Of course, we make a living talking about this stuff, but we're making that same living with or without Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson just lost a hell of a lot of money. And Tony Ferguson potentially lost the lottery ticket to make even more money.
Yep.
There's no other way to slice this. This is devastating.
And he talked about it very directly, saying that this was a huge opportunity for him, and him pulling out was the last thing he wanted to do. And I think, a lot of fighters will say that, but there's a lot of money on the table now that Tony Ferguson is not going to get because of this.
If you honestly believe that Tony Ferguson found a way out 6 days before, after everything that's been said, after how good of a fighter he is, then, just go fly kite. There's no way. And again, stop with the poll stuff. He said it. That's an old clip.
Yeah.
Enough with that.
Would you book, this is from David, would you book Ferguson versus Habib for a 5th time? David says he'd book it for every pay-per-view until the fight happens. And then asks a second question, could the UFC book Conor versus Habib versus Ferguson?
No.
And then go to fight time. Whoever makes it, makes it.
I'm okay with booking it again. It just can't be the main event. You know what I mean?
But how do you not make that the main event?
You can make it not the main.
Conor fighting on top of a card and them.
No, look, if I don't know, just saying, like, if DC beats Stipe
and if it's not the main event, then let's say, well, it depends on the circumstances, but potentially it could not be for a title. Not that each time we've had this fight made it was for a title, but I feel like at this point we almost need it to be a 5-round fight. We've missed it so many times.
Yes. I do agree with that, but it could still be a 5-round fight and not be the main event. Are you familiar with, I know it's...
How? Wait, how? How could it be a 5-round fight?
If one of them is a champion.
Event? Oh, I'm saying.
Yeah.
They have to, that is the circumstance where it has to be.
I know there used to be a website called Woot.com.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You're throwing back
Is that no longer a thing?
I don't know, but I haven't been there.
My brother-in-law used to tell me about this, where they would just come out and say, like, for the next 24 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if the UFC, and it's very hard.
Oh, my God.
It's very hard, but I know in this day and age, but what if they...
Day before a card.
Tough gym, no crowd. We're not selling tickets, but you all want to see this fight? Fight Pass. Imagine they sold that one fight on Fight Pass at the Tough Gym, $9.95.
Why don't you do a whole dark card?
Oh my God!
Not just that.
Fucking amazing! And I just swore, and I never swear.
Whoa!
That's how amazing
you know what? You swore at the end of the show too.
Did I?
You said the SHIT.
Did I? About what?
What kind of cool, like? You said something about, like, what kind of cool shit, like, right as you were saying goodbye to Jason.
My bad.
Your filter is just
5 hours and 15 minutes. That's when the real fun happens.
Yeah, let's do a whole dark card. Forget a dark match. Let's do the or not dark because they're going to be broadcasting it, but unannounced, surprised, secret card.
Yes.
I don't know. I think the secret would be out. I think it's too difficult this day and age, but that would be amazing.
Could you imagine if the UFC tweeted on a Tuesday afternoon?
Tune in.
That Wednesday night at...
Are we almost leaving too much time? Do you go
no.
Tuesday at 7 and it's happening at Tuesday at 10?
UFC announces Tuesday night, September of 2018. Breaking news, Tony Ferguson and Habib Nurmagomedov have just weighed in successfully. Here's the footage. So you know it's on the up and up. Here's Bob Bennett. We taped it.
It'll be on the Athletic Commission's docket, and people will know about it.
That's the only way that they can get people. And it's available tomorrow live from the Tough Gym. We're not selling tickets because we don't want to, we don't want people to buy tickets and then have to ask for refunds and all this stuff. But you can buy it live for $9.95 Wednesday night on Fight Pass. What do you think that sells? How many do you think that sells? Does that do 1 million? Just the one fight.
$1 million?
Yes.
No, come on.
You don't think?
$1 million?
Because I think all the buzz that the UFC just pulled off this super
overnight.
Secret, yeah.
$1 million? No,
I think it gets picked up everywhere.
No, that's not how. No. $1 million is look. I think it would sell well. I think it would do better than many pay-per-views they've done recently. But $1 million is, I think that's too short a timeline. Come on, all the promotion, and you more than anybody know how that storytelling goes. Like you're not. What do? You put out like a long promo that just like takes us at that.
Here's an embedded that we shot.
Oh my God.
Here's a 30-minute embedded that we shot over the past week. I mean, of course, good luck trying to keep this all a big secret.
Keeping it under wraps would be a problem.
Could you just imagine if they're able to pull this off? How great!
I think it would do very well, but I don't know.
It's almost the only way that this fight happens.
Yeah.
Or the only way this fight happens is if like Habib is supposed to fight someone pulls out, and then Tony Ferguson
saves the day,
or vice versa.
Yeah. Okay. Is there another matchup that would have been better or made more sense than Holloway? A lot of people asking, why lightweights are not in this conversation. It seemed, Ortega was asked on Twitter. He said earlier today that Dana White approached him, and that he's going to, decline and wait for Holloway. But people asking about the lightweight situation.
What about how Habib answered that question? He says, if I'm Max, I'm not taking this fight.
Yeah.
I don't fight for money. I fight for legacy. I could very well lose this fight.
Two different kinds of people, right? That's exactly.
Max is like,
Max is like, this is how you become a legend.
Yeah. This guy's like, no. I have to be. And I thought that was fascinating.
Completely contrasting worldviews on it, and neither wrong.
No,
it's exactly who you kind of are at your core, and I think you can't say one is smart, one is not smart. You can't say one is risky and one is not risky, because you could do all that preparation and then it ends up you overtrained or whatever. There's always going to be a trade-off. It really comes down to when you feel the most comfortable. And Max Holloway said, "Let's cowboy up and do it," which is cool. And Habib says, "I need that time."
Contrasting worldviews is a good way to sum up the Habib Nurmagomedov interview. I'm like, you weren't sad that you weren't there when your child was
It's like,
born?
no, that's just how we do it.
Why would I be sad? I don't know. Maybe.
My wife would have murdered me.
Maybe you wanted to like help her with her breathing or something. I don't know.
No, God, he said God will be there.
Yeah.
And he asked and he was blessed. Okay. Lightweights.
Yes.
Rather than featherweights, rather than Holloway.
I'm cool with it. Look, if Max is cool, I'm cool. I'm concerned about the weight cut, the extreme weight cut. I'm concerned about the ankle.
I have to imagine the lightweights would have had a similar weight cut. Now maybe a lightweight on the card. Like I think this is a circumstance where it needs to be Max Holloway, because then it brings the prestige. It allows it to
champion.
Yeah, to feel big.
Right.
Plugging any lightweight in there, I don't know, but maybe one of the top ones. We have. It remains to be seen how many people were contacted and all that. But I think it's a great option. I can't say that people are not excited about.
Oh, come on! I mean, you're telling me that there are people who'd say, "Oh, it should have been, lightweight X."
Look, this is the crux of kind of where we are with MMA at this point. Is it entertaining fights? Is it the top-ranked person gets the shot? Is it some combination of both? Is it a sliding scale? Some people, it's one way. Some people, it's another. And I don't think we're ever going to arrive at a consensus on that. But some would say I'd rather have an actual lightweight in there than the featherweight champion. And I don't know if that's necessarily a wrong opinion to have.
Well, it's classic, let's fix the problem on Saturday and then we'll worry about the repercussions. What if Holloway wins the belt? Then what happens to Ortega? I mean, there's so much that goes on here. But at the end of the day, I think the UFC was just worried about trying to save the card.
Yeah, and I think mission.
It's a pretty damn good rabbit if you're going to ignore the weight, the ankle,
and it only happens
featherweight champion
when your Max Holloway steps up and does it. So
if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, bro. That's what they say.
Keith asks, Would it be a good idea to ban champions from fighting outside each weight division as it creates a backlog? Fans and contenders are going to have to wait now for Holloway Ortega because of the domino effect. There's a lot of repercussions because of
but
this.
again, who's banning these champions? It's the UFC doing all this. Like, there's no independent body who's making the rules. So
if there was to be a rule like
I'm
this,
okay with the odd super fight.
Mm-hmm.
What was there anything in writing that he has to go back to 145? Probably not. Look what they did with Conor. They're going to do what. At the end of the day, we have to remember, the UFC is in this to make money.
Yeah.
As much as we want to put this in a nice little box of like pure sport, like Major League Baseball with a commissioner, the NBA, that's not the fight game. The fight game is more circus than sport, and they're going to do whatever they think will sell the most, create the most buzz, be the most profitable, most lucrative. And these are the kinds of things that fit in those boxes. So we could try to do this all we want, but they're not hiring an independent body to police them. And it's almost like honestly, it's like a wasted exercise. Like, it's just not happening. And the quicker we accept that, I think the better off we'll all be.
Adam asks, do you think Max has done enough win, lose, or draw to be granted an event in Hawaii? Surely the latest effort of jumping in for Ferguson has sealed the deal.
Yeah.
This question has been asked a ton.
I honestly think that he has done enough before
already,
this.
right? Yeah.
I honestly feel like if he does this, he becomes, a world. Habib
If he wins this, how can you?
We do not fully grasp how popular Habib is in Russia, how popular his like, just how his fans are so freaking loyal and his fan base is so large. This would be, I don't know if it's the biggest upset of all time, because we can't forget the fact that he is Max Holloway and but like the circumstances, if you tell the story one day of the 6-day notice, of the weight cut, of the injury, it's not like he just fought a month ago and he's fresh as a daisy. I mean, he's overcoming a lot. And that's why part of me, and I hate to be, Debbie Downer, but like, let's not put the cart before the horse here. Friday morning is a very, very, very important part of this story. Like, he legit has to cut an extreme amount of weight. And by the way, he's coming off an ankle injury. How do you typically lose weight? You have to do exercise, right? Like, you have to be active. Does the ankle preclude him from doing this kind of exercise? We'll find out on Friday. But like, this is a big risk for many people.
You know what it is, Ariel?
What?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You're right.
And we're going to find out on Friday.
We are.
I mean, you have to do Hawaii, right?
Oh, yes,
like,
yes, of course. I mean,
win,
you have to do Hawaii.
I think, like, you have to do Hawaii immediately. Like, there's no way.
Will be nice.
Okay. Does a win for Max Holloway put him into the conversation of one of the greatest of all time at only 30 years old? Or less than 30 years old.
I mean, he's already in that. He's 25 years old, and look at the streak he's on. So, yes, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I think, look, like it or not, being a 2-division champion is
gigantic.
But
here's the better part of the whole situation. It's the second question here.
Yeah.
This could not line up better.
Let me read it. Also, if he wins, the Conor rematch is the biggest fight the UFC could make, right?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Because now he is holding the 2 belts that Conor, and we're presuming that they're actually going to go through with the stripping. Now he is holding those 2 belts. That is insane. That is absolutely insane.
I think Max's social media game would be kicked up a notch.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine what that post-fight interview would be like?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Do you think the change of main card will impact pay-per-view buys? You touched on this before. Do you think Max Holloway will bring more fans to the event? Do you ultimately think it'll be a positive, a negative, net zero? What do we think?
I don't think it will be. I think Nate Diaz and Conor did better than Conor and RDA would have done. I don't think it would be, or it will be, a drastic change, but I don't think it's going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it's higher. I mean, of course, we'll never know.
Yeah, you can't know these things, but I would agree with that.
In this day and age, if it's not Conor or Ronda, 400,000 buy pay-per-view is pretty damn good night.
Yeah.
And I feel like this could do in the 350 to 400 range. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm drunk on the moment, but I do feel.
I also think there's, even if you don't like the matchup as a competitive matchup as much as you like Tony Habib, and I fall in that camp, I think there's an excitement to it. There's something more interesting about Holloway stepping up on a week's notice and just going in there to cowboy up. Like there is something compelling about that, even if you ultimately think it's not a better stylistic matchup, even if it's not exactly what you wanted out of the fight. I think it's compelling enough so that I think ultimately it will not be less, in my opinion. I think you could not take away. This is only good.
And don't forget about how popular Rose is, and don't forget about how popular Joanna is. They are very popular amongst women.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. Even if the title fight fell off the card, you still have. The lightweight title fight fell off the card. You still have a championship fight that people are tuning in to watch.
People love Rose. My wife loves Rose. Who was I just talking to? Oh, Srinivas, our audio man, says he loves Rose. Everyone loves Rose.
This is because she's a musician. That's why.
Yeah, but people love Joanna as well. I mean, how can you not love her? So that adds to it. It's not just the one title fight.
So we talked about those 2 title fights. John asks, aside from the main and co-main, what's the people's main event, and who is the y'all must have forgot fighter?
Okay, well, the people's main event. I mean, it has to be
get the right answer here.
Habib and Max. No.
Wait, no, outside of the main and co-main.
Oh, outside. Can I just say, is this the rare time where the people's main event also includes the y'all must have forgot fighter? Are you feeling me on this?
I think I am.
I do believe that the people's main event is Paul Felder versus Ally Quinta, and I do believe that the y'all must have forgot fighter is Mr. Ragin' Ally Quinta.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Now there are some candidates.
I think there's another candidate that has both of those things.
Anthony Pettis
and Michael Chiesa.
But we're talking
being the y'all must.
We're talking Ally Quinta finally, after all these years, getting a chance to fight in New York, the last remaining New York fighter to fight in New York. You know, of the big names, right?
Yep.
We're talking about him and everything he's been through over the past year, and his fan base, and then of course Felder's run as of late. We haven't seen him in a bit. This is phenomenal stuff. So yes, that's my answer. Outside,
and then we have Caceres and Lobov.
I was just gonna say Caceres and Lobov, and
Danny predicting a featherweight title run for Lobov.
Yes, I would love to see that. And then of course the prospect of all prospects, who's still, it feels weird that he's, jerking the curtain here, but Zabit Magomed Sharipov.
He's like a minus 700-800 favorite.
You were very busy back there, but I went through the entire card and all the lines while I was killing time.
Yeah, look, I wasn't killing time.
No, I know. But, that's how deep I had to go.
You had to pull it out. Okay.
I had to pretend like I understood what the lines meant.
The reports of Habib and Ferguson falling apart happening on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Everyone was unsure whether to believe it at first or not. I think after enough media people started reporting it, I think, it was clear that this was not part of a gimmick. What was the best April Fool's joke you or I have ever pulled? I know you're not a fan of April Fool's when it comes to the professional.
Sure.
Have you ever pulled one in personal life? Is there like a highlight?
So I will say this: my mom is a very big fan of the April Fool's joke. She's,
okay.
And in French we call it Poisson d'Avril, which I don't know why they call it that, but poisson means fish. And I get we were actually talking about it yesterday with my wife. She hypothesized that it had to do with like slapping someone with a fish, but I think that's 100% BS. Anyway, so I was driving to say goodbye to her before going on our trip back home. And we tried to think of what would be a fun April Fool's joke to play on her, because she always does it to everyone else.
Yep.
And again, this is different. Like those who come at me and say, like, "Oh,
professional, personal, different."
And what we came up with, she's a very big fan of the royal family in England.
Okay.
And I told her that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle called off their wedding.
Wow.
I got her for a second, but then she's like, no, it's April Fool's. But I definitely got her and my sister.
She's so aware
I said,
of the
did
date.
you see the notification? Did you see I just got it on my phone?
Wait, so you did it on the 1st?
I did it yesterday right before we said goodbye.
See, the key is you do it on the 31st
that's bullshit.
or something.
No.
What is it? You foul mouth. Your mom's going to text you right now.
You can't do that. No, I don't like that.
No, you have to do that.
No. Then it's not April 1st.
I disagree. You know what? I think April Fool's is stupid in general. No. I think the idea of it having to be on that day
couldn't agree more.
eliminates all possibility of anything being believed. It's just crap. The only people you find are the people, or trick, are the people who forgot it was April Fools. Those are the only people who can be tricked.
Yeah.
Or the people who read The Onion and think it's real, like, news stories. That certain sect of people, or somebody who doesn't know it's April 1st. That's why it's so lame. I'm not into it. Don't like April Fool's jokes. Don't like them being pulled on me. You got me, all right? I don't care.
Oh, trust me. I'm all about trust. I'm all about,
Telling your mom that they called off the...
But no,
Come
because
on.
she did something to me about a doctor calling me named Dr. Fish. So there you see Poisson d'avril when I was in high school, and I can't remember.
I like how involved it was.
Oh yeah, she had someone call me and said that like I had to go to the doctor for something, and I was like, what are you talking? It was very strange, but she really gets into it. Some people like the practical joke. What can I say?
Okay, what about... from Edgar, what are some other amazing fights that never came to fruition? Things that have been like bandied about, but never really materialized.
This is number one because we've actually been teased. We've had the press conferences.
I think there's, that's fair.
But
the press
Couture
conferences
Fedor was my previous number one, but there was no rivalry there. They were almost in cahoots. They were in cahoots trying to get this done.
That's still a fight. I mean, that's how the promotion works.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Mayweather and McGregor practically.
Yeah, but it wasn't made 4 times.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think this is number one. But I think there's a few that have either been so talked about and we're close or not close or whatever the case may be. For example, Brock and Fedor after Randy and Fedor didn't happen. Brock and Fedor was also a big topic. Obviously, Anderson Silva and GSP, like the beginnings of the like super fight conversation. This is where all this super fight stuff kind of stemmed from. With the 2 division weight class champions, GSP and Anderson, Connor and RDA, just for the simple fact of how history could have gone if that fight ended up happening. Who knows where the paths go after that? Rousey and Cyborg, obviously, that one talked about for a long time. Going way back, Hicks and Gracie and Sakuraba, that one never materialized as Sakuraba was, becoming the Gracie killer. I looked back and I was thinking about it, and there weren't as many as I thought. We really have gotten a lot of the fights, like I'd say a very vast majority of the fights that we really wanted to see. Now, this is only didn't happen. There's plenty of fights that I don't think happened at the right time, and we could have had them sooner, later, whatever, and we'd ultimately got a worse product. But in terms of just never happened, period, I think we've gotten most of them. We've gotten a very
there's really not that
large
many,
number.
but this tops the list because we've been teased, because it's been close.
Booked so
We've
many times.
literally gone through a weigh-in, sitting there thinking it's going to happen. And
We've been so close.
It's crazy.
Have there been any continued talks with Anthony Joshua and Dana after the past weekend's fight? He doesn't seem to be worth that reported multi-million-dollar figure. This person, Mike, throwing shade on Joshua's performance.
Again, to reiterate, Dana's not coming after him to be an MMA fighter.
No, he wants to be
Zuffa boxing. Anthony Joshua doesn't need Dana White. Anthony Joshua just sold out a 78,000 seat stadium in Cardiff, Wales. So to me, the talk, like what we should be worrying about is Anthony Joshua going to fight Deontay Wilder once and for all? And I feel like, look, Mayweather-Pacquiao was the biggest fight of all time, and we waited for it, and maybe it wasn't as great, athletically, and it wasn't as close on paper because time passed and Pacquiao got knocked out and all that stuff and more.
Also hurt.
I don't want to see this happen to these two because it feels like, the heavyweight division has been longing for moments like this. Not to say that the heavyweight division isn't in a great place.
Yeah, that's
and
the
will
thing.
continue to be in a great place. But here we go, man. Like, Wilder is so great on the mic. He is so much fun to watch. I love watching Wilder fight because he's somewhat reckless, but he's just like the guy. I mean, he's more like an MMA fighter in the sense that he is so unconventional with the way he boxes. And Joshua reminds me a lot of Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this could be the biggest heavyweight.
But
this would it be the biggest heavyweight fight since maybe Lewis Tyson?
It'd be massive.
Yeah.
But Floyd has laid out a game plan. Floyd has executed a career where you don't need to fight the guys when the public wants you to fight them. And Joshua and Wilder both can keep selling fights until they absolutely need to do it. There's really no pressure.
They don't need to do it. I just would love to see them now that they're
Don't get me wrong. I want it now. I want it tomorrow. Yeah. But I don't think that they necessarily have to do it. They don't need to be pushed in that direction. That said, if you get one done, maybe you sell a rematch down the line. Boxing is a little more.
I wouldn't be surprised if
forgiving
it
in
doesn't
terms of
happen.
that.
I'm not saying it's
No,
a
I know.
foregone conclusion. But
I
again,
want it.
let's not be crazy here. Anthony Joshua doesn't need Dana White. Dana White needs Anthony Joshua.
Yep. What's the biggest crowd pop you've ever experienced at a UFC or other MMA event? What's the loudest arena you've heard or seen or felt?
I mean, Connor obviously in Dublin was gigantic. Believe it or not, the Acer Arena in Sydney for UFC 127 was one of the loudest arenas that I've ever been to. I can't wait to see or hear what Liverpool is like if I'm lucky enough to go to that one.
I mean, I think those are good answers.
Yeah, all right.
Don't pop a blood vessel.
All right.
For me, it was in person. It was UFC 101 when
Oh,
Anderson Silva knocked out Forrest. That arena was shaking. Who wins the national championship tonight? Says Michael Silver. And what prizes go to our bracket challenge winner? So let's answer the prize thing first.
Yeah.
We've thrown it out there already.
Yeah.
You get to choose.
Yeah.
Now,
The winner
within
gets to
reason.
choose.
We get to veto.
Yeah.
But whoever wins will have an
The
opportunity
winner
to select
gets
their
to
own
choose.
prize.
They get to throw out their prize idea. The
Yeah,
winner.
like if it's like, hey, Ariel Helwani, I need $10,000 from your personal bank account, we can make that happen.
Yes.
But don't
Do I
do
want to
anything
make that
without
happen?
reason. Like, stay in that realm.
Sure.
Something realistic.
I'm curious as to what's going on because I picked, by the way, I'm currently at 42. I picked Villanova to win.
Oh,
So
you're saying there's a chance, huh?
So everyone left here is Villanova, Michigan. There's a bunch of I don't know if I have a chance because I see people.
There's other people with
Yeah.
higher numbers in the pick.
What does PPR mean? Yeah, I see the highest that I can go. What?
PPR means how many points you can get remaining. Meaning if somebody has a higher PPR, they may have less points than you, but that's their potential points should.
Yeah, so me Pick'em 4 is in second place. His PPR is 320, but his total is 1090, and he has a 99.8% chance. He picked Villanova. I picked Villanova. My PPR is 320, but my total is 850, and I have a 94.
Yeah, so he would.
But what if I get the score right?
That's only for tiebreakers. It's only for tiebreakers.
So I'm out. But I'm pretty proud of the fact that I picked Villanova.
Who's winning the game? So that
Villanova.
answer is Villanova based on
Jalen
your
Brunson,
your
are you
choice.
kidding me? Come on, it's my guy.
I mean, it's really just who the Cavs are going to pick at this point. Okay. You mentioned Liverpool. Ultimate question. Will Darren Till fight in Liverpool after a night out after Liverpool has won the Champions League the day before? Like, do you think he'll be on his game or do you think he'll be...
Yeah, it's a good question.
I mean, I just hope he makes weight. Like,
so
who knows what kind of partying that's going to happen.
You know, like those what's it? Not bronze medal, but like the what's it called when
consolation.
Consolation. Do they do that for Champions League?
I think they probably do.
No.
Or are you asking because Everton needs a spot?
Right. Well, no, because like it's weird. Like, how are they going to be in the final if they're going to get bounced?
Already.
By Man City.
Look, I spiked that one.
It was, yeah. So, yeah, but I mean, could you imagine?
That is that would be nuts.
That would be nuts.
I mean, the atmosphere there.
It'd be insane.
They people would be drinking for 2 days straight, just nonstop,
including Darren Till.
I'm guessing look, how could you not? I don't know. But anyway, I wonder if he considered that when he signed the contract.
No.
Seems like a yearly MMA hour tradition. Wrestlemania thoughts and predictions for this weekend. I have to admit, I don't know let me get it up right now.
God, I wish we could do a whole hour on that.
On the Andre stuff?
No, on the car wash, the Ronda Rousey car wash.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, at least we learned that time travel isn't real.
What was that?
Or that she doesn't have that capability.
She knew exactly what the question was there, right?
But Chuck Mindenhall for our website wrote an interesting article about the idea that maybe she's playing this now. Maybe
I'm the one that threw it out there that this is all kayfabe. I don't know, but it would be brilliant if it was.
Oh my God, there's so many matches here.
Yeah, there's a lot of matches.
Wait, is this year's?
WrestleMania 34.
Is that the number?
Showcase of the Immortals.
There's 13 matches.
Yeah, well, there's 13 UFC 223 matches.
I know, but they're short.
Yeah.
I guess wrestling matches can be short, but
Andre the Giant Memorial. Oh, Daniel Bryan's in this. Wait, how's Shane McMahon? I thought he just had like
he got
an
hurt,
emergency
right?
Oh no, didn't he have diverticulitis?
I think that's right.
What's
Yeah, he had
going on here?
something. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. I feel like I'm a little out of my depth. Some years I know more about the matches. This year I don't know much.
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns is the main event. Where's
who?
Wow, Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey is the 10th on Wikipedia.
No, I don't. So these orders. I've seen this before. These orders are just like suspected or like some kind of rough idea. This is not the order the fights will come out. Like the matches will come out.
Okay.
Meaning like number 4 could come out number 1, number 7 could come out number 2. They mix it up. This is not like a bout sheet like a MMA fight.
Okay, my bad.
So like those battle royals, I don't think will be the last one or whatever.
I might go out of my way.
Are you gonna watch it?
Can I order it? Or do I have to have the network?
What it is you buy the network.
I don't want the whole network.
Well, no. Why would you pay for a pay-per-view if you can get the network for a month for $10 and you just cancel? Like it's cheap.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, like
what if I want to pay $65 for it and I just want to do it the old-fashioned way?
I think they'll take your money. I think you could probably buy it somewhere. But that's
I used to love WrestleMania. I would count the days.
It's fun. Why would you not still?
I'm not anti. I mean, I might be busy. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not anti WrestleMania. I just, I don't know. What's wrong?
No. Srinivas was showing me about the Battle Royal.
Yeah, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah. That
there's a women's.
Some wrestlers, and they'll announce more.
Yeah. There's always some surprises.
I mean, obviously, I'll be excited to see Ronda Rousey, see how she does.
Sure.
And then we learned last week that Shayna will be in the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal.
That's right. We did learn that.
But yeah, for sure, I'm watching. And it sounds like you're watching. How could you? I mean, especially the year with Ronda first debuting.
Jesse Levine says, take my word for whatever you think it's worth, but having watched for 20 years, this is one of the most stacked WrestleManias of all time. So there it is.
Boom. That's it.
That is it, my friends.
We've answered all the questions. We've had all the guests. We've done it all.
We've said it all. We've done it all. There's nothing more to say. Of course, there's much more to say leading up to UFC 223 because, of course, we have the press conference on Wednesday, which is probably when we're going to, see Max for the first time. And then we'll... And by the way, the press conference in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. How exciting is that? And then there's the open workout, and then there's media day, and then there's the much anticipated weigh-ins on Friday, and then of course there's fight night Saturday from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. MMA Fighting will be there from start to finish, so do not go anywhere else because we've got you covered for all things UFC 223.
Oh snap! I didn't pick winners.
Pick them on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll just
pick them on Twitter.
I will reach out to a few of you.
Make it public.
Yeah.
All right.
Good questions today, everybody.
Great questions.
I guess we have to have a prize every week. Otherwise, you're not going to.
Would be nice.
But
would be very nice.
Good luck to everybody in the pool tonight.
Yes. All the best. Go Wildcats. Thank you very much, Mr. New York Rick. Thank you to everyone in the back for being so patient. I am spent. You can hit my music. We have run out of time. We have said it all. We have done it all. We have talked to them all. And now it is time to go home and watch the National Championship, which, by the way, starts at 9:10. Are you kidding me? Why does it have to start so late? Gosh. Can we not make it 8? Anyway, you can get a free trial for the WWE Network, which includes WrestleMania. Ooh, how about that? What a weekend, huh? WrestleMania, UFC 223, Max freaking Holloway fighting Habib Nurmagomedov. Woo! If you're a fan of both those genres, and I know a lot of you are, and I hope you enjoyed our chat with Jason about Andre the Giant, this is a great weekend for you. With or without Tony Ferguson. And yes, it was depressing. I felt sick to my stomach. I kid you not. I felt nauseous. I felt sick. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that it was happening again. I mean, I believed it, but I just couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Shocking. But here we are. Tony Ferguson versus Habib Nurmagomedov is no longer happening. It's now Habib Nurmagomedov versus Max Holloway. We are 5 days away. Again, MMA Fighting will be there for you, so don't go anywhere. Thank you very much to Brian Butler. Thank you very much to Wonderboy Thompson, to Gary Tonin, to Ioanni Jacek, to Habib Nurmagomedov, to Tony Ferguson, and Jason Hare. What a day it has been. Thank you so much to all of you for watching the show once again. Enjoy the week. Back next week, same time, place. Peace.